seems more and more evident that we are in some kind of a game. And ever since we are little, we are presented with puzzles. This is a piece of the puzzle, people say. You have to look at the big picture. Always looking at the picture of what the puzzle should look like helps us to solve it quickly. Well, they tell us that one size fits all. And we know that's not true. The one size fits all fits best to certain individuals and worse to others. I mean, how do we go? We go get ice cream and there's only one flavor? No, there's different flavors, right? There's not only one meal, there's different meals. Some people like chicken, others like beef. Others think that vegan is the way. There's no such a thing as one meal fits all. One religion? Are you kidding me? The whole Christianity has, according to the Oxford Encyclopedia of Christianism or something like that there are over 33,000 denominations. When I got started on my search for Hyperborea, I started watching videos of a man called Quasi-Luminous, right? And it was great to hear him. And everybody knew, hey, this is new information and let's listen to him, right? But as time progressed, other pieces of the truth came out through other brothers. For example, Grim Nasty, Devon Magdi, and others. Now the problem is that we have fallen into the trap of the controllers. The ones that are offering us a one path for all. The truth must be one. That's what everybody always thinks. There must be only one way, right? I have come to believe that there is not only one way. Literally, it seems like we are to become different beings depending on the path we feel in our hearts. Some people will be like elves, others will be gods, others angels, or I don't even know. When I was visiting a certain land in Europe, I really felt like there have been or there are trolls in that area. I just felt it. In other lands, I felt like in this area elves dominated, or this was the land of the elves. And I still feel it. I don't know why I got this feeling, but this is what I felt. And maybe there are some that will become magicians, others that will become animals. I don't know. I don't know the path. And I'm not going to be here limiting people to just this is what is going to happen. Because some people feel in their heart they're going to be a god from the so-called mythology, right? And others feel like the Gnostics. I always felt like I am one. And this is what the Gnostics talked about. I am the all. And now some people say that the all is evil. Now, please, I mean, maybe that is what you feel and maybe that is your truth. But it doesn't mean that my truth is wrong. Okay. I'm trying to make some notes here so I don't forget what I wish to mention. The TV programming is always about our game. Our game of what is within us. Within us there is a war between good and evil. And I think this is part of our path, at least it's mine, to reconcile good and evil. To stop thinking that one is superior to the other, or one is better than the other. But in reality, it is just part of one, and one cannot exist without the other. Kind of like day and night, right? It's complementary. We sleep, and then we're awake. And it's part of who we are. And no matter if we're watching cartoons or if we're watching a story, a romantic story, everything is always about conflict between good and evil, the liked and the disliked. And eventually we see the happy ending, right? Well, as part of the puzzle that I mentioned earlier, they tell us that our mother's womb incubated us, right? Incubated us. We know the cross. The cross is an unfolded cube. And we know what has been written, that the Christ shed its blood, or the Christ sheds its blood on the cross. And this is how he brought salvation into this world. Because the Christ is the Son of Man. The message I see there is that I am the Son of Man, and whoever hears the calling, and we are here to shed one drop of our blood over the cube, to liberate those, or to liberate ourselves. There's power in the blood. A woman cannot incubate, cannot give life until she has bled for the first time. And this marks that she is now fertile and capable of giving life. No blood, no life. If you hear this and you're afraid of shedding one drop of your blood over the phrase, I intend to bring heaven to hell. Now, I used to say to bring heaven into earth, right? But I don't say that anymore, because I realize that my heaven is already in my heart. But in this place where I'm living right now, it's hell. And if you don't believe me, ask anybody. They'll tell you, no, we're living in hell. That's why Kwasa used to say, yes, hello, right? Help me. How is your health? The puzzle, the pieces of the puzzle in my path are clear. I am in hell, and my blood is the power to change it. For some people, this doesn't add up, so just move on. This is not your path, but it is the path for some of us. Then they tell us that we don't know Jack, that we are Jack. Oh, there's Jack in the box, right? They tell us that the jackpot, right? What are people trying to get? The jackpot? Who is in the box? Jack is in the box. You don't know Jack, they say. Maybe they're trying to tell us that we are Jack, and that's why we don't know Jack. Jack and the beanstalk, the big tree that goes up to the heavens. Maybe they're really talking about us. A few videos ago, I talked about the pole explorers. I talked about how these people, they said that they came back with data that would take them decades to analyze. I don't know when plastic was invented, but I don't think in the year 1900s they had the ability to keep ice cold once you leave the Arctic regions. So what would they analyze for decades if the ice would melt? And that's what they tell us they found. The pictures show they found only ice, right? Then they brought all these ice cubes and they all melted, and they still have decades to look after this water, or the water just ran out of the boat made out of wood, because in those days that's what they were traveling on, sailboats. I saw the vessels, the ships. Whatever game we are in, they have to give us pieces of the puzzle. They have to tell us the truth in some way. And they're telling us that they ventured into the interior of the continent. That is what it says in the story. Now, the interior could mean two things, right? Just one is to walk, and another one is to venture into the interior. It almost sounds like there's a hole there, right? And you have to just go in. And whatever discoveries, whatever things they brought back, and it wasn't ice, this is taking them decades to analyze. So, have they been others? Have others been to Hyperborea? I think so. And I think the first wave of people who got there are the ones that have something to do with managing this world right now. And it is up to us now to get there, to change it, to make it the way we want it to be. But don't discard the blood, because there's power in the blood. Not everybody has this ability or this in their genes, in their blood. But for those of us who feel it in their heart, then we have to act on it and bring heaven to hell. Love to all.